Hi, everyone. Welcome to Radiant Living, Inspiring Humanity to Thrive. I'm Marisa B, your host, and today I have with me Sharon Silverstein. She's an internationally renowned musician, singer, songwriter, and a friend that I've known for quite a number of years with the voice of an angel, as I say. Sharon, thank you so much for taking the time to come on and speak to the audience today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh, it's my privilege, and I'm so thrilled. When I heard you sing the first time, it was at a sweat lodge, and it was almost like the voice singing in the wilderness for everyone, because I think it was a very tough time for people then, and some people couldn't do it in the sweat lodge, and I think your voice in the darkness was helping them out. And I knew that time, right then and there, that this is definitely a spiritual special calling that you have. I wanted you to tell the audience a little bit about how you got started with all of this. You're classically trained as a musician, and you sing a number of different types of music. You write beautiful songs. How is it that you decided to use your music and your voice to promote peace, world peace, and unity amongst people?
Well, I really believe now that, hindsight is 2020 vision and forward motion, that when I was a child, very young, I always gravitated towards music. My mom says since the age of 3 that I picked out a guitar at a garage sale. I want that. So I've been using music since I was a little kid. Really, I feel now that I can look back on it, to heal myself. I grew up in, a traumatic, abusive home. My stepfather was very abusive to me. And when I would get these emotional charges and I didn't know what to do with them, I'd go in my room. I had a piano in there, I had my guitar, and classically trained as a French hornist, even though I don't play that instrument anymore. I went through Mason Grove School of the Arts, Rutgers University, to get a Bachelor of Music degree to teach band, and I did that for 17 years in New Jersey in the public schools. But just going back, I would go in my room and I would just play music, and whatever would come out, either I was learning a new song or I was just improvising. It helped release those. Sorry about that. There's a alarm that's going off. Can I just shut that off?
Sure, go right ahead. Okay. Life happens. It happens. Don't worry.
Yeah, I don't know why this. Okay, let's go back to here. Got it. Okay, we're back.
No problem at all.
Okay, so I would use music as a healing modality for expression and cathartic release of emotions. So then basically I picked the trumpet when I was in 6th grade or 3rd grade. I can't remember. I think it was either 3rd. Yeah, it was probably 3rd grade. We started a little early, and I just wanted to play another instrument. I was very attracted to all different instruments, but I picked the trumpet, and I played that all the way through to middle school. And then there were too many trumpet players. I'm like, there's way too many trumpet players. They're all boys, right? And I was like sitting in a row of boy trumpet players, and I was like, you know what? I want to just shine by myself. So my band director in 7th grade asked me if I wanted to switch to French horn. So they didn't have any French horn players. So I was one of maybe 2 French horn players through 7th and 8th grade, and then went on to college to get classically trained as a French hornist. But I was involved in many different kinds of music. I was in the marching band. I was in the concert band. I played a lot of different kinds of folk music on my guitar. I was classically trained on the guitar too. I wanted an electric guitar, and I wanted to play rock and roll. I was like Joan Jett and Pat Benatar and, all of those women who really were cutting the way for women rockers. And my mom bought me a classical guitar instead.
Yeah.
So I ended up taking classical guitar lessons, which I'm grateful for. And then later on, I studied, more rock and jazz and all of that with the guitar. But and then later, when I was probably in my 20s, I was very interested in writing songs, and I wanted to express. At first, I wanted to express my my anger, my bitterness for having to have endured so much pain and abuse, sexual abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse when I was a kid. And then so that went into my beginning songs, which, I don't even know where those songs are now. But in later after that, like 2002, I went through about 10 years of, up until 2002, I went through 10 years of therapy, body psychotherapy and Gestalt therapy. And this was to really become grounded in my body, because I would always dissociate from my body. And once I was able to stay grounded in my body through this therapy, then I went on to do some personal growth work with a personal growth company, and went through all their series of personal growth seminars. And in 2002, I had what I like to call a spiritual awakening. It was what I think Eckhart Tolle calls a satori. It's a glimpse into an experience into enlightenment. What it would feel like, what it would sound like, what it would how it would like integrate into your body. And so in 2002, I had this satori, this awakening, and I felt and saw and heard everything as what I call the oneness. And that oneness, that energy, it was glittering, it was moving through, in and through everything, the dirt, the bugs, the animals that were present, the trees, it was everything. And in that moment, I just started crying, like not like sobbing crying, just tears gently running down my face, because it felt like love. I didn't really know, and I don't know how many people really know what love is, but that felt like love. It felt like everything connected into this matrix of energy. And it was peaceful, it was relaxing. I didn't hear anything except for a voice that came through that said, movement towards peace. And I felt like, okay, this is my movement towards peace. And then I was instructed to go back and quit my job, which I was a band director in New Jersey, and quit my job and open up my own company, which I run to this very day, called Living at Peace LLC. And everything in that umbrella of that company used music and spiritual, I want to say spiritual teachings, not religious teachings, although a lot of the books and materials that I read after that spiritual awakening, I started reading all this material, like Deepak Chopra, Wayne Dyer, Byron Katie, Eckhart Tolle, like just absorbing. And when I went back to New Jersey, I took my first yoga class. And that was the first time I ever felt totally embodied, like centered in my body. And I was like, ooh, I want to do more of this. So I started studying yoga, taking a lot of classes, did a yoga teacher training with my teacher, Jeff McDowell. He's a doctor, and it was all sound-based, actually, yoga instruction. So using the bija mantras, the seed sounds of each chakra to ignite each chakra, to get it spinning faster, and to release tension with vowel sounds. And all of this training was, through 2002 until 2015. And in 2015, I got a divorce. I was, again, this voice came through, and I knew that it was time. And this was part of my coming out as a lesbian, and coming out in 2016, releasing my third CD, actually, called Octave of Love, which are all of those songs are about love in some way, whether they're mantras, English. I love drawing from different genres of music because I listen to a wide variety of music. So I like to draw, chord progressions from jazz and chord progressions from rock and roll and folk music and all of that. It just interests me to be in a variety of musical genres. And that journey with my music was really geared towards awakening people to their true nature, basically. So the teachings that went into the songs, right? The lyrics of each song is a teaching. And people say, those words and the melody get stuck in my head.
Yes.
And it repeats and repeats and repeats until I get it, until the lesson, whatever it is for them, is learned. I've had people give me feedback about the song Get Busy on 2002 Alive CD, that it helped them through recovery through AA and their alcoholism. Get busy living or get busy dying. It's a choice you're making every day of your life. So they put it as their alarm clock song, and it starts their day. And that's really, that is like the greatest feedback for me as an artist, is that these songs are helping people, they're supporting people, they're awakening people to their greatest potential, their greatest potential as a human being, embodying, the spiritual being embodying his bodies, right? And to me, it's just all of it is a movement towards peace. Now, whether or not I'll see peace on the planet in my lifetime, I have no idea. But,
I know.
I know my purpose for being here is to ignite people into, even if it's just one thought, like, wow, maybe there is a possibility and an opening here to manifest the life of my dreams, right? The Begin with the End in Mind song, it's a Stephen Covey concept, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, came from that book. I became very interested in, like, okay, so if this is a concept, like, the visualization of what we really want, how do we embody that, right? Because it's not just visualizing it, it's about thinking it, it's about feeling it, and it's about doing it. So all of those need to be in alignment in order for something actually to manifest. I didn't know that at the time when I was studying these concepts, and I was a little like, I wonder why that's not, coming to me in my life. The law of attraction is the song Thoughts on the Alive CD. All of these teachings that I was reading about, I wanted to put them into a song, because vibrationally, when you put lyrics to music, it's vibrationally being received in our bodies. And we are electrical.
Yes.
We are electrical beings. There's, medical evidence. Yes. It's not a woo-woo.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Oh, absolutely.
So, and the greatest conduit for vibrational frequency is water. And we are like 78% water, here or there, take a percentage. But music can be one of the greatest devices that we can have, one of the greatest modalities, I should say, that we can have to heal ourselves. So when I got a divorce in 2015, 2016, I got interested in sound healing. So sound healing, I thought when I was in college, I would sit next to people who were taking music therapy, class, taking theory with me. I was like, they're just doing music therapy because they don't really play an instrument very well. I was a little snobby, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then later on in life, when I realized how powerful modality music is to change people's lives, change their thought patterns, change their feelings, change their behaviors, right? Then I started doing sound healing, especially here in Sedona, since I moved here in 2019 and bought a house here in 2020. I use crystal tone singing bowls. I
Mm-hmm.
play Native American flutes, is the indigenous instrument of this land. I was very called to play the Native American flute, and the mechanics of it are very easy for me
Mm-hmm.
because I'm a classically trained French hornist. I have all of the mechanics for playing, and I feel like it's transcendent. So when I start playing, I just connect into a source greater than myself, and the music comes through. So doing the sound healings here in Sedona are super powerful because the rocks here with the quartz crystal amplifies everything.
Yes.
And the iron, which makes the rocks red, is this really beautiful, delicate, feminine energy that is bringing the balance of the masculine and feminine energies here on our planet. Because we really are out of balance with our masculine energies. I'm not
Oh,
talking about
indeed.
gender. Yeah, I'm not talking
Right.
about gender. I'm
No,
just
no.
talking about out of
Male
balance.
energy.
Yeah, out of balance masculine is controlling, overpowering,
Mm-hmm.
right? Ego. So those things are what I'm saying are out of
Mm-hmm.
balance. You know, instead of having a balance would look like having a healthy self-concept, you know, not going into ego, but just being
Right.
confident, right? So you have the confidence, you're empowered to step out into the world with your ideas and your desires, right? And your creativity.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I feel the main reason why I'm here in Sedona is to support people who come to this place for healing,
Mm-hmm.
to have, you know, a reboot, you know, like an electrical reboot on their electrical system of their body.
Mm-hmm.
So these sound healings are super important, as well as, you know, I play many venues around here.
Yes, I
And
was going to ask because you're out doing venues
yeah,
as well.
yeah, and I play covers. That's, you know, other people's songs, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
very picky about the songs that I do sing.
Mm-hmm.
So they need to be uplifting and positive. So as long as they're uplifting and positive, I'll sing them.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I sing, I'm igniting that energy within myself. So not to say that I wouldn't sing a sad song if it
Mm-hmm.
has a uplifting message.
Now,
Um,
do you travel to other locations, or are you only playing in the Sedona area?
No, I travel to Phoenix and I travel to Las Vegas. That's where most of my family lives. And I go up to Flagstaff. So I stay pretty much
Mm-hmm.
around in the Sedona. Cottonwood is about a half hour.
Mm-hmm.
Cottonwood has a lot of places to play. Page Springs, they have a lot of venues for me to play at, and Sedona has, and the surrounding areas have been
Yes.
very inviting for my original music, which, you know, the original music is where the I feel the messages that come to people. And it's so interesting, you know, people
Yes.
do like covers, but when I play the original music, something ignites in them and they get
Mm-hmm.
excited and they're like, oh, I really love that song. And recently, back in March of this year, I released a new single called For My Love.
Mm-hmm.
And that song was inspired by this new relationship that I have. And it was inspired by a few different concepts that I learned back in 2021 when I was not in a relationship for a whole year, just
Mm-hmm.
working on healing my heart and uncovering things that didn't work for me in past relationships, and how I can create a secure attachment with somebody instead of an insecure attachment, right? So you hear a lot about secure attachment versus insecure attachment. And one of the things that I discovered pretty quickly was that there's a rejector and a rejected that plays out in a relationship. And so the idea that you can accept, also have boundaries with your values, of course, but that you can accept this person as they are, right? And that they don't really need to do anything for my love. For my love is my love, and I can give and receive as I want. And so that was the release this year in March. It comes with a video on Apple Music, and you can. It's a really cool video, some drone shots here in Sedona. But I wanted to show the love between various people, and the love of, you know, even nature and animals, right? And even my motorcycle, right? So there's a love between, you know, your partner. There's a love of, you know, between women partners, male partners, heterosexual partners. There's a love that exists between a mother and her child. There's, you know, between an owner of a horse and her animal, right? So all of this was like so intriguing for me to express in a song and then express it in the video. That and then this new song that I'm actually going to finish the vocals today after our interview in Jerome. I'm recording at a studio there in Jerome. And this song is called Pieces of You. And again, it's about acceptance instead of rejection. So like there's pieces of people when you're in a partnership that you could either reject and say, I don't like it, right? Or you can accept them as they are. And then if it rubs up against your value system, you know, like honesty, integrity, trust, compassion, empathy, validating, you know, feelings, vulnerability. If it rubs up against one of those, then you talk about it. But if it's something like you don't like the way they chew, you know,
right,
something like that, you know, just pick something simple. Then you accept all these pieces of yourself first, and therefore you can accept all the pieces within that other person. In 2021, at the end of 2021, like the last 6 months, I started, I used prayer, intention, whatever you want to call it, to call in a new relationship. And I got really clear with what that would look like, you know, in a new partner. I wanted her to be a mom, either have raised a child or has their own child, or somehow helped in raising a child, because I feel like it would create a feeling of connection because we both have kids.
Right.
And my son actually, as a little side note, played the drum track for this new release. So that's fun.
Oh, wonderful. Yes, I know he's a musician as well.
Yeah. So so this is what happened. I got really clear with, you know, how I would like my partnership to feel like, right? And then I kind of let that go. And then in 2021, I connected with my new partner, and we went on a few hikes, and I went on actually a few dates that were lasted for about an hour. And I was like, as soon as I heard that an insecure attachment from them, I knew that it wouldn't work. So I'm like, yeah, thank you for the date, and then hands off, you know. And then when I met my new partner, I was like, we really were able to, we connected on a lot of levels on activities and interests and personal growth, and her love of music. No, she's not a musician, but love of music was grand, and she introduced me to a lot of new music, which new music like that I haven't like listened to in the last few years, because I was really not listening to pop music. But yeah, so these last two songs were really written about my relationship with her and the concepts that I was studying at the time. The victim, prosecutor, rescuer triangle, and how we stay out of that triangle when we're in a relationship. And the answer to the victim, prosecutor, relationship triangle, victim, prosecutor, rescuer triangle is, instead of prosecuting, you're accepting. Instead of rescuing, you're holding and trusting that person capable. And instead of feeling like a victim or acting like a victim or coming from victim, I mean as like, oh, why do they always do that kind of thing? Don't get me wrong. I know when people are true victims in circumstances. But if something happened to us like 30 years ago, we're still complaining about it, you're a victim still of that circumstance. And it's time to see, hear, and validate it and heal it, right? So the answer to the victim is to take responsibility for where you're at, right? So you take responsibility for, I'm sitting here right now, and this person or circumstance is not acting upon me anymore. So what can I do? So what? Now what? How do I move beyond that and heal it, right? We have to acknowledge it, we have to validate it, and we have to have a conversation with it, right? So anyway, that song "Pieces of You" is all about that.
Now, how can you? Now, I know, of course, I have some of your actual physical CDs when CDs were being made, and then I have others that I've downloaded years ago. Is this all the same way now? Complete downloading of your music?
Yeah, there's nobody's buying CDs
Right.
anymore. So I actually have some CDs left over from Octave of Love and Alive. I never printed Chants for Peace. Chants for Peace was a mantra CD, and For My Love, the single, was just released on digital. Everything's digital now. So if people want to find my music, they could go to Sharon Silverstein and the Peace Project.
Yes.
On Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, all the
I'm going to put like links in the description, because I'm sure people are going to ask. I have a clip that I wanted to put on for people to see of your playing the flute, because it was just a small clip that you had recently posted that I wanted to repost. That the flute, it was just absolutely exquisite, the music coming from the flute that you were playing. It was just beautiful. I'm sure that people are going to ask. Like I said, I have some of the CDs when they were pressed before, and then I have the digital downloads as well. So I definitely would put all the links for everyone, whomever's going to ask, because I'm sure they're going to want to hear your music. I know that you had mentioned the Peace Project. I wanted to ask you a little bit about that, because you started that a long time. I think I met you right around the time that you started that, the Peace Project.
Yeah, the Peace Project, when I came up with the name for how my artist name, I guess I was like really like into, Joan Jett and the Black Hearts. But I wanted it to be Sharon Silverstein, but I also wanted it to express what the music was about, right? So Sharon Silverstein and the Peace Project. And the Peace Project, the band, changed members, as needed, but I and the music always remained the same. And I took this band, the first band that I had. I'm always with amazing musicians. I've always been super blessed to play with very, very talented people. And we took this program of the music with little vignettes. We would act out little vignettes to teach the concepts of the songs through humor, through animated, like a play, like a musical.
Mhm.
And I took that through the New Jersey public school systems for about 2 years. And okay, like anything, comes to a beginning and it comes to an end.
Mhm.
And then I moved on to other things. I was facilitating drumming circles for a really long time.
Yes.
For team building and health and wellness. I don't do any of that anymore. But that was part of the umbrella of Living at Peace LLC for a very long time. And then I also taught redirecting children's behavior courses for parents, because when I became a parent, I didn't know what to do. You only know how your parents have raised you. And I was like, that's not going to work.
Right.
I want to be better than that. So not that, my mom was very loving and caring, but, there was a lot of dysfunction, in my home. My real father, I got to see every weekend, every other weekend, and he was very loving and caring. But there was a lot of dysfunction, going on in the upbringing. So I was like, I think I better take this course. And I took the course and I fell in love with it, because it's about having parents aware of how their feelings and their behavior actually creates the misbehavior of the child.
Right.
And so when we realize that all misbehavior coming from a child is they're trying to communicate a need to you, you need to know what they're trying to communicate to you. And once you know that, then you can prescribe the correct remedy for that misbehavior.
Right.
And you're not treating all misbehavior the same way, right? Like you get your hammer and everything's a nail, right?
Right.
So I don't teach that anymore. I think as an artist, I do things, and I believe this is for everyone. I believe that we all do in the world what we need the most. So for me, since my company is called Living at Peace, that's what I need the most. I need to live at peace.
Right.
So that's why I do what I do. And I know that I've talked to the other people about this concept. And when I pointed out to them, they're like, wow, I didn't realize, I'm a life coach. And gosh, I did it. I became a life coach because I wanted to get my own life together, So I believe that we do in the world what we all need the most. And once we've come to some kind of completion with that learning, we move on to something new. With the music, it's very easy because I could just write a new song about a new thing I'm learning. So,
well, the music's always with you, right? The music's always with you. So in whatever you're doing at that time in your life, music is always with you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, it's always with me. I mean, and the concepts that I learn, I want to integrate into a song because it helps me to learn it better, and then share it with other people so they can learn from the music too. Right.
Well, exactly, because isn't it easier to learn through music? Concepts, principles that you remember? Yes, right. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Alphabet to twinkle twinkle little star.
Yes. Do you used to do workshops years ago? You used to do workshops or facilitate workshops. You don't do that anymore?
No, I haven't. I haven't facilitated a workshop probably since 2019. Yeah, or 2020. But no, I don't facilitate workshops anymore. And it's not to say that I wouldn't. It definitely is a possibility. I used to also, as you know, run women empowerment retreats in Mexico and Pennsylvania and New Jersey, but I don't do any of that anymore. Again, I think it was a time in my life where I needed that. I needed to feel empowered. I needed to feel, a connection with other women and the feminine, and that it was a great time to to
Right.
have that experience. But as time rolled on, and I got settled here in Sedona, I felt like my calling, my getting back to my true calling, which is to take my music and get it out there. And when people put me on their playlist, that's the best thing that they can do to
Yes.
support me, because the way that a musician makes money nowadays is that you get money from continual streaming
Yes.
of your songs. So if somebody likes one of the songs, put it on your playlist. And when you go to play that playlist, the song plays, and I make like a cent.
Yeah, because it's such a different world, right? From the way it used to be. It's so different, where technology has taken the arts. And I just do you still play you used to use the crystal bowls. Do you still use those?
Yeah, I use the crystal tone singing bowls, Native American flutes, shakers, rattles, my voice for the sound healing sessions here in Sedona. And people can book those sessions through my website.
So you do that one-on-one.
Yeah, I do it one-on-one, or I do it in small groups, or I do it for retreats, of 10, 20 people. Sometimes I take people out on the land. And sometimes I just do it here in my home sound healing studio, or at their location if they have room.
And what's that? I remember years ago you played, I think it was
harmonium?
It was a type of, what was it called?
Harmonium?
Yes, the harmonium. Do you still play that?
Yeah, it's actually right behind me.
I know that. I know, because at one time you were like a one-woman band. You would play a number of instruments all at the same time. Yeah, which was just amazing to me. Amazing to me.
Fun. Yeah, I find that fun. I still kind of do that. I sit on the cajon, which is the box drum, and I'll play the cajon with my foot, with a foot pedal, and then play my guitar and sing. And then I also have a harmonizer pedal for built in, so my vocals go through the harmonizer pedal, creating harmonies. So it sounds like there's two people singing at the same time. So 3. And then sometimes I use my looper pedal, which is a way to get more percussion going, with the music. So, there's not enough money being given to musicians performing live. So you have to do it yourself, because you don't really have, they're not paying you enough money to bring in a whole bunch of people.
Exactly.
Some venues do. Some venues will pay per person, but most of the venues are, a set amount. And so that and tips, and hopefully people download the music or whatever, and it works out. It's always working out. I always feel it's always working out. Some people are so grateful for a sound healing session, they'll give me like a $50 tip. So
now, how can somebody find out about when you're doing those? Do you have information on a website for that?
Website, I have a tour page. They can go to SharonSilverstein.com and they can book a sound healing session there. They can book also. I do Kirtan still.
Kirtan, yes.
Kirtan, yeah, chanting. And I also book the sound healing sessions through there. And I also do life coaching sessions. Not as many as when I first got here, but I take people out on a 3-hour individual 3-hour life coaching session out on the land. We go, we walk, we talk, we get out there, out on this special place in the Red Rocks. And I have them embody what they want to create in their life through thought, feeling, and action. That's been super fun to do with people, and very inspiring and uplifting for people, and they get motivated to do changes in their lives. So I still do some of that. I do some, and to me, that's kind of like a one-on-one workshop, you know?
Oh, yes. Oh, it must be amazing scenery to go out and set your intentions and and to work on oneself out there.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. That's a lovely way of doing it.
Yeah, I feel like, when you get out in nature and you walk side by side, or the person walks in front of you or behind you, and your body is moving and the energy is moving, people just want to share. People want to talk. People want to tell you about themselves. You ask the right questions and they're all about it, and I always tell them, if you're willing to be vulnerable and take some risks today, you're going to get a lot out of this session. And typically they do, because they're by themselves and we're walking and talking and we're out in this beautiful scenery of Sedona.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's lovely. I'm going to ask you a question. Can you play us a little something?
Sure.
Today.
Yeah. Do you want the whole song? It's about 3 minutes and 28 seconds.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay. You can cut it up as needed. This is the new release. It's not released yet, so you're getting kind of a sneak preview of,
thank you.
Of the song Pieces of You. So yeah, let's do it. It should be released before the holidays.
Missing pieces of a puzzle I've been working on. You ask the universe to bring me someone like you. The veil is lifted, the picture is clear. All pieces of you are so beautiful. Your
Wonderful. Thank you so much for letting us hear that. A sneak peek. That's wonderful. I want to thank you. I want to thank you so much for coming on the show today, Sharon. I so appreciate it. I know you're so busy, and I'm so thrilled to be speaking with you. We haven't spoken in such a long time.
Yeah, it's really great to talk with you and all the work that you do. So grateful for your work that you do in this world, for sure.
Oh, thank you.
And thank you for opening up this type of platform for artists, for people to get their message out there, and we'll share it across.
Yes.
all
Thank you. Yes. Well, it's all about peace, right? That's what we're out here to do. Peace and getting along one with the other. We can have everything. All of us can have everything. We could all live rich and radiant lives. Everything is out there for us.
Yes.
So, thank you. Hopefully when I come out west, I'll see you. Hopefully we'll get together.
I'd love to.
Wonderful. Yep. Sharon, again, thank you so much. I so appreciate this.
Okay. Take care.
You too. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.